this was probably the fastest game of the tournament so far, at least during the playoffs. Extreme Gaming, they managed to force Team Resilience to put GG into all chat in under 30 minutes. How does it happen? Why does it happen? We're going to talk about with Still Borko.
Yeah, it's actually surprised me because I didn't expect. I mean, I could have expected they to type GG, but not like that. It's like you guys are playing for $1 million and you guys are on the stage here. Just the first game. I mean, yes, it's a hard game, but
realistically, do you feel like they had a chance?
Yeah, it's minor, like a little.
Like probably less than 5%, right? Because we were talking a bit with a friend here while watching the game, and I was explaining how Necrophos could potentially be a threat in the later portion of the game, of course. Because Necrophos is one of those heroes that is really hard to deal with if he gets to his items, and you don't necessarily always get to kill him fast enough. Even with Drow, even with Spirit Vessels, in the late game scenarios when there are all the saves, Necrophos can be a threat. Yeah. We just never got to see the late game. Drow and Centaur, they just stomped Team Resilience into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, they just obliterated it and then just outclassed them here, to be honest. It's just the rough game. And respectively, Necrophos is actually a great pick against Centaur
in lane.
Yeah, in the lane. And against the Drow, he's all right. I wouldn't say per se it's like hard matchup, but overall
it's like who attacks who, right? Like if Necrophos jumps Drow, I think he can delete Drow before she gets anything done. Yep. But the other way around, if your team has Nullifier or any kind of Dispel against Ghost Shroud, or if Necrophos gets controlled from full to zero, it's also a possibility. And we've seen the latter.
Yeah, I mean, also I like to who stand out the most for me is Nothing to Say. I really like the way how he actually were making movements. Like to also appreciate the Samruk, our general sponsor for our football discipline, and that is going to be happening on 4th of August to 9th of August. Thank you very much, Samruk Astana, for sponsoring our football, aka soccer.
And we're going to get back to Dota, right?
Yeah,
after
of course.
that. So, why do you think the player you've mentioned stood out? Like, why do you think NTS made the most in this game?
I feel like his rotations with the FY, like the FY on Mirana, he was doing a lot of threat. The Ember combo with the Mirana is just one hell of a thing.
It's really classic.
Yeah, it's really classic. It's really easy. Chain into arrow, and then the FY also, like those two created a good amount of pressure that actually made it a little bit challenging for the Team Resilience to stood out over. And I mean, Necrophos, yes, is a great pick, but it didn't feel as strong as they were, you know. And just overall, it was not so. Yeah, it was overall a little bit challenging.
Honestly, I don't think Necrophos was a problem, and we just seen a highlight of him killing the Drow, making a good rotation, getting those very precise. Oh, that important to be. They don't much. But in general, problem was the Mirana arrow with Ember, as you said, and XXS playing absolutely out of his mind. Like, his Centaur was so solid, and I don't understand why they had Lycan in a draft with Necrophos. I don't understand how this hero stuck.
That's what I wanted to just speak about this. I kind of understand the idea why they pick like that, Team Resilience, honestly, and I can't blame them for them. It's just the fact is the Lycan is actually a pretty decent hero into
Drow?
Yeah, like the Drow you were mentioning, but the more important against their supports, right? Their supports can't really do much against those wolves who are biting you and rooting you and just being really annoying. And also the Phoenix itself, like, it's pretty decent, but at the same time, the Mirana, like the Mirana itself, the FY did a lot actually. So he actually surprised me, as you were mentioning earlier.
I would actually disagree with you that Lycan is good against supports on Extreme Gaming because you have Hoodwink, you have Mirana. Both are kind of elusive, so you can't really jump them. Mirana can leap out of the way, and Hoodwink can sometimes go through the jungle, right? She can cross a path that Lycan cannot cross with his...
No, for sure, yes, I understand what you mean, but like, as soon as they hit the Invis, when you get the charge, when you get the bite, when you can root the heroes, under the wolf, like the W, there is a lot of, under the Hawk, there's a lot of, under the hull is a lot of damage actually applied. So
Yeah, it's a minus armor. Of
the
course.
minus armor, yeah. But the idea is a little bit lacking. So because you have Necrophos carry,
It,
like,
it
if
doesn't
they-
really stack.
it doesn't really stack. It would stack if they were like a Slark or a Tiny, you know what I mean? And then you eventually on like you get an axe, and then your Slark became like Wolf Slark, you know, and that actually is strong. But yeah, Necrophos pick kind of overforts them.
Yeah, it's a mishmash of different ideas. This draft had some eclectic things going on.
Of course.
And I don't know, like, I don't feel like Team Resilience is a kind of team that can win Extreme Gaming, that are actually playing to win. That they're not trying anything new, right? Like, this is a cookie cutter draft with Drow as a carry who is extremely strong even after the nerfs. You have this good classic combo of Ember and Mirana. You have your classic off-lane for SAST in Centaur, and you have this flex X-Nova. It could be Hoodwink, it could be like his signature Warlock or anything, and I think it would work more or less the same way.
If you pay attention on Nothing to Say, he did 35k damage within 31-minute game, and it's actually a lot of damage for that part. And as you can see in comparison, there's only 14, 15k, so he did more than twice damage. So his presence was actually active, and yeah, he's just all over the place. I mean, the supports were there to deal the damage for him. So
I'm sorry, I'm just massing in my head, and I think that he barely made less damage than the whole enemy team combined on his Ember Spirit. Yeah.
Makes sense. I was thinking, what are you thinking right now? Did I say something wrong? So anyway, there's nothing wrong because there is a wonderful partner that we have. We'd like to say our appreciation for caption to Halek Bank. Thank you very much for sponsoring our amazing
Phygital
basketball. Yeah, and I would like to appreciate that. And moving forward about the basketball, we'll talk later. About the Dota, we'll talk now. Now, in comparison, our two GOATs on carries. On your left-hand side, you see Poyoyo, and right-hand side, you see Ame. I mean, they were just farming and they were doing their thing, but it's like they were just doing their job basically.
Yeah, but that's what we were talking about during the pre-match.
Right.
Is that Poyoyo, he's playing more of an active role. He was going around. He actually killed Ame once by using the scythe on the river, and he was trying, even as Necrophos, who is historically more of a late game oriented hero, he was trying to make some moves. Whereas Ame, he was just farming, and I'm not gonna, like, I know Ame has a lot of funds, but he didn't do much this game.
No,
like, this game was carried for him.
Clearly
it was delivered to him like that.
Yeah, because it delivered by his supports and his mid player, and also XSS, like by all his team basically.
Yeah.
Just all his team. I mean, yeah, he didn't need to be inactive because his team just did all the job perfectly.
He needed to click with a lot of money so that buildings will fall, basically.
Of course, I mean.
And he didn't even need to do that because the enemy team...
Type GG.
Yeah, type GG.
Yeah, I think it's one of the fastest game. I think the fastest game, it was LGD Gaming yesterday against the Return Acid. I think it was under like 30 minutes. This one is a little bit over. So, but yeah, it definitely was an outclass, but hopefully Team Resilience can step up the game, and then they were losing yesterday the same 0-1, and maybe they can pull off the game 2, who knows? We never know, and I guess we'll find out quite
I mean,
soon.
they're called Resilience for a reason. Like,
Right.
They should be resilient, even though it's single rocket and nerves are good. It's going to be nothing to say. I have absolutely no objection to that. Yeah. You also named him as one of the standout players for Extreme Gaming with the most damage, almost as much damage as the whole enemy team combined. You can't really say anything else.
Yeah, I mean, he's always there. He was on the point. He participated in 24 kills in total. Died only once. I mean, he has everything what he needs. Like the interesting enough, he decided to go like Vessel into Kaya and Axe and BKB. But I mean, I like the BKB on the second item, but he skipped the Mage Slayer, which was quite interesting. Because usually people would like to go Mage Slayers as well against Necrophos to reduce his damage and to be a little bit tanky, but he was like, no, I just need some more damage. I don't need to think about the reducing damage, and I don't need doing for like defensive. He was more focused on being offensive, and I like that, and he did just fine.
I mean, he could do both because his supports had also control, and you can be really aggressive against heroes that are stunned, or you can be really defensive against heroes that are stunned because they don't hit you back.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I guess that was the idea.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go further, I would like to remind everyone that with the Yandex Go app, you can experience the thrill of the big city. This Games of the Future is happening in Astana, Kazakhstan. It's a beautiful city, really, really clean, new streets. Everything is just so shiny. I haven't been here, oh, I'm from Kazakhstan, right? I haven't been here myself in about 5 years, and so much has changed.
Oh, damn.
And exploring all of that with Yandex is that much easier.
You haven't been in Astana for 5 years. Yeah, I do remember when I was in Canada for how long? Like 7 years. I didn't go to Kazakhstan for 7 years, and within that 7 years of part, I've seen so much growth, so much potential, and so much futuristic types as you guys see here in our beautiful futuristic city Astana on your screen right now. And yeah, it's definitely quite some interesting changes. I mean, in our capital city.
I mean, the biggest and most important change to me in the city is that we finally get a Dota 2 LAN. We had 2 CS2 LANs before that, right? But that is the first big Dota 2 tournament here in my home country, and I'm extremely happy and extremely grateful to all the sponsors for making it possible.
Yeah, of course, and I would like to also thank everybody at the Games of the Future and then organizer. They're just really nice people to work with. And yeah, we're back to here to the panel.
If we want to talk about what's going to happen next and how it could be happening next, what should Team Resilience do against Extreme Gaming to get an edge? Is there like a secret sauce? Do you punish Amos' greed? Do you try to win lanes? What would be your best idea? Or maybe the best idea for comedy to talk about.
All right, we are back with Phygital Gaming here between Team Resilience and Extreme Gaming. Extreme Gaming crushed Game 1, and I feel like despite Erica's game, it wasn't really like Erica's good performance. It really wasn't enough. What would you say was the biggest issue for Resilience?
I think the biggest issue for Resilience is that they weren't making strong enough moves. I think their rotations were. I don't know if it was unlucky or if they weren't able to read the map all that well, but just their movement was very lackluster.
Yeah. I mean, mid lane also, like, we saw nothing to say. Do have a way better time again the lane against Echoes. Top lane, surprisingly, New did all right, but we were both kind of scratching our hair at that Lycan pick, right?
It was definitely not optimal. Like, you know, in our scrims, of course, both of these two teams are what possibly able to do, but when we consider the Beastmaster and Lycan, one of the first considerations is that you do not have a Drow Ranger or a Clinkz on the opposite team, because it becomes a free lane for the Drow.
It was even, and they had paired up like Lycan Clockwork. It's very tough. Extreme Gaming starting off the ban phase again, aiming for the ZZQ to Wyvern. He has been a big part of that team's success in previous series. They're saying, all right, we want to target him. You don't see like the position 5 with such a specific ban like this, but I like it. I really like it for Extreme.
It is. I mean, that Clockwork was definitely, or rather the Hoodwink was definitely a problem, but they kind of ran into the 3-man Bushwhacks. They kind of ran into the 3-man Hoofstomp. It's not as if Extreme Gaming were forcing them to be in that position, like the Hoofstomp or even an RP, right? It's only as good as your opponents misplaying in those positions.
Well, Resilience, they're going to have first pick right now. Again, Erica had a good time, I think. I was actually kind of a little surprised they GG'd out when they did, because like we had 3 or 4 fights in a row where we weren't seeing the egg, and I'm just thinking maybe they'll try for one big wombo combo, then caught, but they were just like sick of it. It feels more like I don't want to call it a tilt GG, but more of this GG where it's like, guys, whatever atmosphere we're in is getting worse and worse. Let's call it. But Team Resistance open up with a Treant. Good save for and heal for the whole team. Unfortunately, Extreme has the Largo, who can lick it off, and tastes pretty good from what I've told.
Definitely. So then it becomes a question of, do you hold your living armor, or do you use your living armor? Because oftentimes holding the living armor is also what's going to kill your carry. You're going to use you need to use the living armor because your carry is dying, right? Because someone is falling low enough, and you need to give them that protection. So it's kind of a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation.
Certainly better though to use it if you can, right? That's basically the situation. Like if he's gonna be cancelled, maybe it'll get cancelled after a couple ticks of healing or some other damage source before he licks it off, maybe. But Team Resilience, I like the opening pick. I was talking to Panda, and he's got all these stats in his head. Very nice, very smart guy. About how Treant Protector and Lone Druid are the most contested heroes of this tournament so far. Now, Coach, I always like talking to a person who's actually playing pro or coaching pro. Do you think Treant Protector deserves his spot as the king of the meta, or is he a little overrated?
Well, that Treant Protector is how we won our qualification match. I'm gonna have a biased opinion as far as that is concerned. It's just you need to apply a lot of damage to overcome that living armor, because the living armor is just such a good defensive spell, especially in the first 10-15 minutes of the game. And if you have a weak, or rather if you have a snowball oriented hero, then that snowball oriented hero then needs to itemize in a way that increases their damage output, and that means they have to make riskier plays.
I see. All right. I love that you're honest. Well, he got us at a qualifier. How am I supposed to say he's overrated? He's great. But Team Resilience, they pick up the Earthshaker. Could be a mid, could be a position 4. Position 4 Earthshaker rising in stonks in this tournament. And they also give New his Timber. So I like this a lot. I think that New is the best player on Team Resilience by quite some margin. I want him on a hero that can make plays. And man, look at how it looks so good. It looks very, very good, the arena there.
It actually looks really good. It looks very, what's the word? Futuristic.
Yes, and they're playing games of the future.
Exactly.
Right.
Who's gonna save the world? Earthshaker, as well as a Timbersaw. Now, this Timbersaw is one of the heroes that did get banned, by Extreme Gaming in that previous game. Resilience, though, this won't be an Earthshaker on the mid side. It will be a Puck, and the fact that you have a Timber means that this Earthshaker is actually a position 4.
Yeah. As we were saying, like, he's rising up in popularity. Extreme, though, they get the NTS Tinker. Pew, 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 as he would say. Much better than I did, though. And well, along with the Undying. If you saw the previous series, Narmin on Undying was incredible. He had the Blink Aether Lens, rushed the shard, great saves. I bet Xnova can do the same. I believe that the next pick that you want to get rid of is probably the Spectre, because right now their ability to track the Tinker is limited.
I am wondering, though, what is the impact from this Earthshaker supposed to be? Is it just a Dream Call into the Echo Slam? Because the other side don't exactly have heroes that clump up.
No, they don't. See, you pick Earthshaker for his very strong laning phase. I'm just kidding. His laning phase is pretty trashy. Long range stuns, jump with the Echo. I agree with you that someone else is gonna have to do some work. Like, Earthshaker feels very much kind of like Bounty in a way, whereas if you're winning, he helps you win more, if that makes sense. But him by himself doesn't really do plays.
And they actually have a pretty abysmal lineup as far as taking the Tombstone down goes. Like, who's gonna right-click the Tombstone? The Spock or the Timber, the Earthshaker? Timber, Earthshaker, and Treant all have very low attack speed.
That's possibly the worst 3 people you can think of to take on a Tombstone, right? It's like, all right, guys, we're gonna roll up and take on the Tombstone with these. They're like melee, slow attackers who will rely on their strength. Yay!
It really does make me a bit afraid of how Resilience were even drafting in the previous game. I didn't think that it doesn't feel like a very synergistic draft. I get the idea behind the draft, of course, but it doesn't seem like they're drafting while keeping what the other side brings to the table in their mind.
So far, Spectre hasn't been banned out. The Drow gets removed. Again, I feel like it is a Spectre. They go for the Shadow Fiend instead for the stronger lane. Up against the Largo Dark Willow, Shadow Fiend definitely feels very strong. But my worry, honestly, is that it's not Ame who's the problem. It is Nothing to Say's Tinker. This hero was able to take Team Spirit to a 5-game series at TI10, which was obviously a few years ago, I know. But even in this tournament, I've seen his Tinker do some incredible work.
But it is a Tinker against nothing to say. You're playing a Tinker into the best Tinker player, it is by the best Tinker player in the world. So you have to be really careful. Not to mention, Tinker is like one of the best heroes against that Timbersaw, in the sense that you just have an absurd amount of pure damage, especially once you get that Aghanim Scepter, decreasing the max HP, right? Of the Treant, of the Timber, of the Earthshaker, a blind on the Shadow Fiend, so his right-click damage doesn't do anything until he gets the BKB. You don't have any Nullifier builder. You don't have... I haven't ever been... throughout this tournament, because there's been some incredible matches, I have never felt hopeless in a team's draft the way that I do now.
And this is without even the last pick from Extreme Gaming, right? They picked the Wind Ranger. To be fair with you, I don't think the Wind Ranger is like that crazy good against what Resilience has, because they have a lot of like magic damage from pure damage as well. What's she gonna evade? Doesn't matter. But again, I was saying it, and I think you echo my feelings on this, that it just doesn't really matter what Ame picks, because the NTS by himself can deal with Resilience's draft. It's not like Resilience had like a Zeus, Spectre, Dawnbreaker where I'm like, oh shit, NTS is going to have a tough time, Ame is going to have to carry. This feels like a very free game for Mr. Tinker.
Pretty much. Like, it doesn't really feel like this Tinker is going to have any kind of resistance. Not to mention the lick back on the Tinker, you have the Dark Willow with the Bramble Maze, you have the Tombstone save, so it's a lot going to protect nothing to say. And I will point out that, we have, every time Extreme Gaming plays, the spotlight is always on Ame. The conversation is always around Ame. He is Dota 2's uncrowned prince, right? Beloved in our community, deservedly so, of course. But maybe there is a shift, right? Maybe they have a new coach too, Lanham. Maybe there's a conversation that should be happening that nothing to say is or can be a centralizing factor for Extreme Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, he has felt more ignored in the team. I don't know if I would say ignored, but he was like less of a focus, I feel like, after TI10, where you see him kind of getting sort of not the best matchups, maybe not prioritized by his supports. But we do have a new coach, right? With new ideas. Hey guys, I think that NTS should receive more love. Maybe we let the offlaner struggle a little bit more. Maybe we take Ame on a more farming carry, and he can just farm while make space. There's a new sheriff in town for Extreme Gaming, and his name is BD Lanham. I can't follow. That's all right. We're gonna.
However, the one thing that I would like to point out though is, we were having the conversation that Southeast Asia has been eliminated, and a bit about how Southeast Asia is in it, because you have one Southeast Asian player on
two
Southeast Asian players. In fact,
there you
go. Sorry, no. For Playtime, you have
Playtime's got two.
Playtime has had two.
Malaysia representation from part of the bracket. So, but I don't know. I mean, you haven't been to Malaysia yet, I believe, but we have a saying in Malaysia. It's called Malaysia Boleh, which means Malaysia can do it. And,
I know that saying. Because one of the roster with Dota, so I have no idea how much of a fan I was of the good old Team Orange. I also shed tears when that Aegis was denied. When KYXY, Mushi were in near tears when they were exiting booth. Like, I was crying right there, except from home, and feel the burn of not making it to the DI finals.
You know that KYXY, I talked to him, or I think I've seen a video of him, but I've actually talked to him once in the bathroom. But regardless of that, he said, I always hate any opening ceremony of TI because they always show the part when I kill the Aegis. It's like every single like video blunder or highlight, they always showcase that. So I got sick of seeing it. I only watch the matches. I can't watch the side content anymore because I'm like traumatized from seeing that so often. And I'm like, damn. It was sad to hear that.
Yeah, but it's also Southeast Asia has never come close to that TI final. That was the
time.
Probably the closest. Yeah, that was the time. It was the peak, some would say.
It was. Fortunately, since it is going to mark Willow and the Largo going up against the Shadow Fiend and Fiend Protector, I think do okay here. Zillion. Be careful, right? If you are ZZQ, you get out position, stomp into Bramble, into the lake. It can be very irritating for him, for sure.
Yeah, again, like even with the Shadow Fiend, right? You imagine that the very fast Shadow, you can't use, and you don't want to be getting caught with maze. It can go either way. You do have a tree and protect ZZQ able to protect the Shadow Fiend, even considering the lick this well, which again I would like to point out. You know, every time there's a Largo versus a tree, licking away the against the overgrowth.
Like the way you said it, but it's certainly game.
You kind of like the breeze. Not exactly that useful in the lane because this assassin has a spammable stun. The Earthshaker has two fissures before his mana runs out.
Oh, for sure. In the lane phase, I prefer a bounty with you. The invisibility, everyone hates trading with, especially with that thing being buffed.
Because then they at least get the experience.
On Mr. Plant is out.
Too much HP on him. I was saying the ideal use case is to, I'm not sure why.
They know that she's going to get a lot of health out of the shot realm. On the Largo
has about it's a puck performance for the, how does he need to play
if he can wait
try and get that Shadow Realm strike is gonna come in and it is gonna come in hard.
The damage from that would have been and kind of bring give him vision. It would have made it different to have in the
damage, but that is a very, or rather in this case, a large rate for it.
I imagine it was on cooldown, right? They probably use it with the stop early on. Okay. Nice move there by Resilience.
Doing okay, bottom. So you're doing on 100 net worth ahead of the Tinker.
A little bit surprising that he is winning as much as he is. Planet almost losing his life there. He gets coiled up. 200. Sorry, only has level to his name. 200. That's level 2 on our Earthshaker.
Why do you think the max level is capped at 30 and previously it used to be 25?
I'm wondering that as well. Let's see. I wonder if it was always 25. I don't think the one was ever 20. Why is it on 25? Do you know, or are you just like sort of like grilling me?
I'm not doing either. I don't know, and I don't think that's a grilling question. I'm just wondering. Maybe you have the answers.
Well, I unfortunately, Ice Frog hasn't replied to my emails in like 15 years. He used to, but he doesn't do that anymore.
I haven't tried emailing Ice Frog. I get to speak to him occasionally.
ZZQ tries to steal it, but it's not going to happen. Planet gets the Shrine of Wisdom. And oh, yes, Ice Frog. Back in the old days, you can email him about something, and he'd actually reply to you. And you'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, it was very cool.
That's fantastic. But I can completely understand why he stopped replying back, you know.
Well, so far, bottom lane, New is level 6. Could make a move here if he wanted to. And he's got Planet with him. Planet, has he made any stacks? I don't think he has. It feels like most of... Oh, here we go. Good coil.
Two-man Dream Call into a two-man Fisher. The puck jumps towards the other side of that block, and it should be Ame falling. He's trying to run with the wind run and might just be able to get out. Echoes does find that loss. Right-click in, finds that first blood. Ame goes down. X-Nova is next up on the menu. Team Resilience will be able to find a pretty good set of kills.
Luckily for X-Nova, he dies after the 8-minute mark, so he has the Ceaseless Dirge instantly proccing. But yeah, very, very good rotation by Team Resilience. And they were even a bit, I would say, there was a bit of unluck for Extreme. I'm surprised the Shackle Shot didn't latch on New. Don't think it would have made too much of a difference, but a surprising angle that didn't reach from.
And now the puck is starting to snowball. I'm also very surprised that Nothing to Say didn't actually join that bot lane to help his team fight a little.
If they die, they die. Survival of the fittest, baby. That's the only thing of the movie I know. And that, you know, he kills a boxer, actually. Oh, ZZQ going a bit deep, but should be fine overall.
Yeah, he's a very annoying hero if you're attempting to stack up the jungle. Like, he's just always gonna be there, always hanging around.
You know, we were talking about NTS's Tinker, and we were glazing it, you know, like a donut. But it is going to feels like right now he might have to actually do what we say he's capable of, and go just 1v1 versus 5.
It's because Ame is having a rough time, or not exactly a rough time, but it's going to be very hard for a Wind Ranger to be able to out-Fiend.
Agreed. Then again, I Tinker can damage you, but that's a lot when you have to carry these guys. This way.
He's already at the 2,000 mark. I assume he's not going for any starter kit items and just rushing the Blink.
He's got Kaya. Yeah, Kaya into Blink is what I imagine he has on the edge.
They're looking for actually they can grab the illusion and just wait. I thought that they should have secured it for Extreme Gaming for the Tinker, but no, okay, the Tinker was very far away.
Yeah, it was going for top ruin. That's why. I took it before because
you know, in I've seen so many games where the curse crown, it's a great stun if it lands, but it's so long. Or does get used, the infused drain drop as well. There in the invisibility, he thinks they don't see him, but they do. They will be able to find this skill and falls a lot of pressure.
I wonder what XS is going to consider build on this log though. We go for the Aghanim's, but that feels like a very old build. I've seen Kai. Oh.
In trouble. Timbersaw will change. And I would describe a decent timing.
Sure. It's 13 minutes and a bit. Okay. One side, 3 on the other. And one of them was up for the shadow beach. There we go. To have a pro player name. Would yours be Taltris or would you have something else?
Something else. Taltris is, you know, my costing.
Nice.
You know,
Nice.
It's
yeah. Maybe I bet like 12k MMR. Oh, sorry, no. 7k MMR right now.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I actually think, you know.
ZQ. He walks out without a lot of problems. He's struggling. That rotation on echoes. However, it is the Tinker. You know,
It is.
Saying he's... Oh dear.
Oh man, that is so much damage He throws out that focus fire. It has a bit of damage on New before he goes down. I think is made of
I know, unfortunately for Ento, he is on hero.
especially when the rest of your team, they can't survive for long enough. Like, you know, Ame died so quickly there. Will be able to pick up a kill on ZZQ. They will give it to Ame because he is the least farm core in the game.
Yes, he is. Access, I think he is going to go for the Meteor Hammer. I saw a crown, I think it's called. So very useful, like, not very useful, but I like that he's going for the Meteor Hammer to help you push. Feels much needed in this game.
They do have one tier 2 tower taken out, but on both sides, in fact. I actually thought for some reason Resilience had to do, but no, they don't. Witchblade as well as the amplified damage, they're just waiting for nothing to say. He will show up to a big surprise and they will be able to take him out without any difficulty. Terrorize is going to be sent out. It only catches the Earthshaker, but they are coming in. However, Erica is here too, and that means Extreme Gaming have to get back. Tombstone being right-clicked down by the Shadow Fiend. All the meanwhile, Extreme Gaming trying to dish out some semblance of damage, but Ame has none.
3-for-1 trade again. And yeah, Ame, we saw that with Wind Ranger. We were like, it's not. To be fair, we said it doesn't matter what Ame plays because you have the NTS Tinker, but we're seeing that it kind of does matter. He doesn't deal too well with the Shadow Fiend. Doesn't scale as well as him. He doesn't deal too well with the Timber Saw because he just gives him tons of reactive armor stacks. And his stun is good. It has landed on Echoes a few times, but lack of damage.
The Shadow Fiend, he's 3,500 net worth ahead of that of Ame. This Timber Saw is 4,000 or rather 3,000 ahead of the Largo. It doesn't bode too well when, you know, and this is the contrast, right? Last game, Resilience, even though the rest of their team were behind, there was at least one person at the very top.
True.
Over here is just Extreme Gaming, or just everyone's just kind of struggling.
Yeah. Possibly one more. Nope, doesn't use the overgrowth. He knows he can lick it off here on XXS, but still, holy shit! Like, we don't even get a chance before someone is dead as on the other side. Then someone else is dead. Oh, could be something here.
Yeah, they should be able to take out down the Treant Protector. ZZQ does die, but again, it just feels like roles have been reversed, right? Last game, Resilience, all they were getting done, all they were receiving were breadcrumbs. They were just able to take down a support or two here and there.
Still, and I don't feel like Largo and Wind Ranger really function that well from behind. You know, a lot of their kit is designed to do well if you're ahead. If you're behind, these zero can feel very weak. Oh, wait. Was this new?
They do go in, but Neo will just get back. Do you feel like Neo is going to be unkillable soon? Or rather, I mean, even right now, I think about how much they have, how much damage they can dish out versus how much survival is built into the Timber Saw. Neo has a BKB as well as a Sanjin Kaya.
The BKB is the one that scares me the most. Because before you can say, well, they have magic damage, right? They don't even have that when ZBKB is. And Ame is struggling. Ame is dying. Ame is dead.
It's the Fisher that took him out. Wow. Do you find it funny when there's a Fisher thrown out and a hero's body just gets swung to the other side?
I think that is the best
flies
part
away
of the innate, the emotional damage. I would like it if it flies to your screen if you're playing against Earthshaker, right? Like he fissures you and your body just flies off the screen towards you or something.
I want the animation for the tiny toss to be thrown, to be changed. Like if the toss is gonna kill someone, the hero should just, you know, get tossed up into the air and never come down.
Right about that. But the fact that they come down is because they deal AoE damage when they land, so we have to have them land. Like, we can't change the mechanic.
Then we should change the spell to enable what I want to see.
Tiny has had Avalanche Toss for over 20 years, okay? That'll never change.
XXS is in trouble. He may have had the Meteor Hammer to take down that tower, but that doesn't help him to do anything else in the game if you can't push.
High ground is still a problem for Team Resilience, just because March of Machines will be there for the Tinker.
I like how we're there now, Ottomo. I like the optimism that you have. 20 minutes in, high ground defense is pretty good.
Well, we are heading toward, we're trending towards that direction, aren't we? It's not exactly like we could talk about pickoffs and whatnot for Extreme Gaming, because they don't, I mean, they have a good line in damage, but not for finding people. As ZZQ, Agent Z, as we call him, he has found the Tinker.
He doesn't have any follow-up, though. He can cancel the TP.
There you go.
That's what he's gonna do. ZZQ. Again, oh, Echoes. He's just gonna come in from out of nowhere. And Nothing to Say has no more mana. Terrorize is gonna be dodged away very easily, and Neo will be able to pick up the kill on Nothing to Say. Extreme Gaming, they get ambushed.
Oh, there's a stun from the Curse Crown, but doesn't do anything. They do bring down ZZQ, though.
Echo Slam comes out, and the right clicks from Erica start to fly out. It's XXS who's gonna fall, as you do again have Echoes going back in. Neo finds himself with a double kill by taking out X Nova, and they'll even be able to find a tier 2 tower. I feel like Extreme Gaming, you know, as much as I hate to say it, they should have just left Nothing to Say for dead.
They did, unfortunately. He is their main, like, win condition. They know this. So even a small chance of keeping him alive is very worth it for them. And unfortunately, they lose so much from that fight as well.
I feel like we're too far gone for win conditions. I feel like it's just comeback conditions now, or just conditions.
Oh,
Conditions should not get stomped soon.
Come back for the victory, right? Like a comeback usually implies that you come back from a loss to win.
It will be a not lose condition.
That's the same as winning.
No.
Yes, it is.
Not losing doesn't mean that you're still winning. Right?
Yes.
Like, for example, Reconics versus Liga Team.
Okay.
That third game, you remember? The Lone Druid?
Okay.
Liga Team weren't losing, but they weren't winning either.
Yeah, they dragged out forever, to be fair. As FY gets killed by Planet here. But in Dota, there is no draw. There is win or lose. And that's what Extreme Game needs to do. I think Xnova's saving for a shard. He's got 1200 gold. Probably could use that.
Saving for a shard? He's saving for retirement. You know, it's investing for the 20 minutes from now, considering how this game is actually going for them. You know, he's going to stack up those dividends until they eventually become big enough.
It is wild how sort of like different game 1, game 2 went, because at this point Team Resilience was GGing out. They're like, yeah, we're done here. No need for even, you know, Roshan or whatever. Now they've got a Silver Edge, great at capping the movement speed of a Wind Ranger, and they just got, I think, Parasma finished as well on the puck.
Yeah, everyone's a target now for the puck. Everyone's a target for the Seraphine. It's... I don't know. Resilience are certainly great at comebacks, I will say that. You know, Yellow Submarine, game number 1, they got stomped, but game number 2, they found a comeback. Sure, they were always ahead in this game, but it again just goes towards that China versus China team comparison that we were making earlier. Resilience start the fight off, or Extreme Gaming. The Willow is running, but the opposite direction. Willow has made it out, but the wrong way, and will just teleport back.
Solid kill. Very solid kill. You could say, though, the Team Resilience was there without all of their players around, right? Like ZZQ walks in with Neo. Maybe a little bit too cocky there. He has a BKB.
There's that Fisher. Ooh, man, that is a lot of damage. XXS, the tankiest hero in their team, actually falls. And I would say Extreme Gaming don't actually have a tank in their lineup. Like, they have a front line, but it's not exactly a tank if you don't have any items.
Oh, no, for sure. It's more of a spank. You know, he goes forward, he gets spanked, and he goes back.
how do they defend their high ground? You know, you said that their high ground defense is good. Explain to
Yes.
me how it's good.
March of Machines plus Power Shot.
Explain to me why Resilience right now in their current game state are going to be afraid of the March of Machines.
Oh, I mean, kills creeps, right? That's all you really need to do.
So the creeps are afraid.
The creeps are gonna die from it. The creeps are gonna show up and they're like, oh shit, it hurts us a lot. And once the BKBs are down, Team Resilience, the Tinker can still shred them. I'm holding on to hope. Maybe I'm the one who's puffing that hopium. But I still believe that like Tinker's pure damage is enough to shred even how far ahead Team Resilience are.
I am a big believer in nothing to say Stinker.
Okay.
But
Sorry, did you say his Tinker or his Stinker?
his Tinker.
His Tinker, not his Stinker.
His laser beams, his missiles.
But he smells good. He's not a Stinker.
No, definitely not.
Good to know.
Heart of the Wrath picked up by who is it now? Is it the Gull? Is it the Timber? Is it new with the Heart of the Wrath?
I think it would be new. And that's gonna be the Aegis on YSR. All right, I got some good news for you if you're a fan of extreme gaming. Okay, you want to hear it?
Sure,
It
why
doesn't
not?
get much worse than this in any sort of situation, any game. Like the enemy team is 22,000 gold, 26 minutes, has an Aegis. You're near high ground. It doesn't get any worse than this. It's new.
They
White
find
tank?
one laser, but Neo, he has the BKB. He will just simply be able to brush it off. And in fact, you have to be careful before he decides to go back in. And to add to your point, Automo, you think rock bottom is the lowest you can get, but there's a whole undiscovered part of the ocean that we don't even know exists.
That's very fair, you know. Reminds me about a certain submarine that was in the news a while ago, but we won't go there. Yeah. No. Here's the thing. Team Resilience, wait. It could be engagement.
It is. The terrorized attempt was pretty good. It does push back the Shadow Fiend. However, Ame is already dead. He's going to buy back into it, so I feel like this is a Hail Mary play. Nothing to say, we'll be able to drop down the lasers. New has fallen. A godlike streak going the way of X Nova, but everyone else still gets a fair bit of gold from just the one death of the Timbersaw.
And that's going to be a minute delayed of the Aegis as well. Reminder that was because of a BKB use earlier. They poked him, he BKB'd, and now it will be unexpected for Team Resilience to do that, but also risky.
Erica, he'll throw down a Requiem. It's Echoes who will just jump in, but Extreme Gaming, they do seem to be playing a bit more confident. They seem to be playing like they want a brawl.
With the Timbersaw dead, that 20,000 gold is actually gone, right? Because Timbersaw has 18,000 of it. He's more than just his gold. It's his body, it's his spells. So you are playing it an even game, 5 versus 4.
No Requiem or Dream Coil either. So if Extreme Gaming, they want to go in, they want to take a fight, this would be a very good time. You kind of have to do something to Echo just jumping in on you, applying that Parasma debuff, losing your Waning Rift, and just shifting away. Right? You can't just stand your ground and hoping that someone will do something.
But you are hoping for that to happen. Look, if Puck jumps in, we'll just curse crown the guy, okay? I'll teach him a lesson.
Now there's a BKB on that Shadow Fiend. Erica will not only hit for a lot of right-click damage, but he's also going to be able to survive any kind of magical damage that you're dishing out. And you know, to your point of surviving, outlasting the lasers, kind of feels like it's the one Extreme. It's kind of the onus of the survival is on Extreme Gaming. The onus of outlasting the BKBs is not on Resilience. It's on the Radiant side.
They have a Hex coming out soon on NTS, and 3 minutes of the Aegis, I will say, have done not much for Team Resilience. They haven't been able to push high ground or do anything with that so far. All because, I mean, they've even taken the tier 2 mid. This is not a good Aegis for Team Resilience. So far.
So far. Okay, there we go. Ame is dead without buyback available. It's a great Echo Slam that comes up, but the BKB was up for XXS. However, it's still Extreme Gaming. They're just dying to the simple right-click damage. Resilience may have lost their Earthshaker, but it's still a good fight. However, Shadow Fiend, he's dropping very low, does have that second life. Echo, he's probably going to decide to go back in, takes out that Largo. XXS is now down. NTS has no more mana, so he'll have to back away to the fountain. However, Resilience have realized that it's not such an easy fight. They too will have to go back.
This is like a solid defense from Extreme Gaming. Again, they didn't lose a tower out of this. Unfortunately, Ame, that's his die back. We also lose XXS, and that was the Ceaseless Dirge bringing back X-Nova. All for an Aegis and a Treant Protector. But if you're like me, an optimist, you'll see that NTS, I mean, they did bring down the Shadow Fiend. If he didn't have the Aegis, he'd be dead. He'd be in the grave right now. Dead.
I mean, if he didn't have the Aegis, they wouldn't have taken a fight like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't expect to die in that situation. Right?
I mean, you'd be okay with dying in that situation because you have that Aegis. Thus, you'll be in that situation because you know if you die, you have second life.
Well, either way, they brought him down. And
they did bring him down. Yes, they did bring him down. That is, you know, we have come to an agreement. They brought him down.
We are at the bargaining phase of you know, like there's a 5 stages. We're like the bargaining right now.
Yeah. And hopefully Extreme Gaming don't realize the acceptance stage because, you know, I hope they stay in a denial phase where they're still trying to fight it.
This is not an unwinnable game for Extreme Gaming. The high ground remains a problem for Resilience, and we'll see what they can do about that.
Okay, I'm curious to know.
Yes, my lord. Yes.
Extreme Gaming clearly come in with a lot of star power, right?
Okay.
The fandom. Is that why maybe, you know, we're hoping against all hope right now? Because if in a normal pro game of Dota, 32 minutes in, Automo, if you have a team that's 30,000 net worth ahead, you
29.
would imagine that it's a pretty much done and dusted game.
True, but this is a Tinker specialist, you know, on a hero that can. He's a hero that can carry the game by himself. So, and he's got decent farm. He's also got the save coming out from X-Nova. X-Nova has the blink, a shard now available on the Undying. So even if you get caught, you can still save him. As YSR, one hit from him, as well as a jump from New, and FY is dead. Margo?
They find the side of Vice, but there is no damage coming in on that Timbersaw. And I would like to bring to your attention, Automo, is that Ame has less net worth than the Earthshaker. In fact, Ame may just end up with in this game with having less net worth than even the position 5 of Resilience.
In China, carry players are rated for how much damage they can do for the gold they have. So obviously when you farm a lot, you must do a lot of damage. But Ame has reversed the script. All right? He, how we say it? He has gone for low gold, high damage, basically becoming the best carry player in the world. See how it works? All right, you're impressed by my analysis, aren't you?
I am.
You know I'm right. Just admit it.
I'm impressed by you
comes.
finding some way out of this.
Thank you.
Like this nightmare that Extreme Gaming are in.
It is very much a nightmare. If it was any other hero besides the NTS mid-tinker, I would have said the same thing. It's gonna dust it, but oh, ZZQ, free kill, solid, bit of gold, much needed. 1,000 gold, in fact. Not even a bit. That's 1,000 gold. Planet could be a nice, tasty morsel. They can get their hands on him.
And I will add to the point, you know, when Resilience were in the same situation, they just tapped out.
True.
Right? They just gave up. Extreme Gaming are the ones who are not giving up. They're the ones who are still trying, and they might actually come on to Erica. They don't see him. The sentry there was by Resilience and not by Extreme Gaming. Now Extreme Gaming possess the high ground, and this fight may not work out. A Fisher comes out towards that Willow, hit by that Dream Call too. Neo, he's there, going to go in, taking a damage from the NTS. The focus fire might just be good enough. They're trying to burst through that Timbersaw. He's able to use the use though, but the Undying, he saves his Largo. But for how long? Because Erica will take that Tombstone down and then focus everyone else down. It's Extreme Gaming who will lose the fight. They do find Erica. They managed to take one hero out, but the question is, the cost is just simply too big. Extreme Gaming will lose their entire lineup. Resilience, 36,000 ahead at that 35-minute mark, 31 kills. And I feel like this game, surely, Otimo, there's no way out of it.
There's no, I mean, they have buyback on the Shadow Fiend if they want to bring him back to fight, but my lord, so close to bring down the Timbersaw. And you can see the respect that they have on Team Resilience for their, you know, older brothers here on Extreme Gaming. But Ame is going to be up soon, him and Xnova. And the tower push, I mean, it's a concept for Team Resilience without that Shadow Fiend. But like, it's an idea of pushing towers. You don't really do too much though. Here we go.
Again, I don't see where we're going, Otimo.
They're still worried about the buyback from NTS.
I don't see them worried.
Well, they were a bit careful, weren't they?
The puck jumped into tier 4s.
That's a puck. He's doing puck things. Right. Have you ever seen a puck not jump into danger?
No.
All right. Now, 41,000 gold ahead for Team Resilience. It's an equal game.
The Largo has also fallen behind the Earthshaker in terms of net worth.
But that's behind the Triad Protector. That's when I start worrying.
That Triad Protector almost has as much net worth as his two supports from Extreme Gaming combined.
I guess he does. I mean, he's a rich man. Why, you begrudge him a bit of gold?
The trickle-down economy ain't working for Extreme Gaming, Otimo.
Extreme's like, please trickle down from Team Resilience. Please trickle down from them. As they're gonna go for Roshan right now. Oh, yeah. By the way, you're a coach. You should know what hope feels like when your team is doing badly. Oh, why are you busting me over it?
It's very interesting because one of my players asked once to me, the entire team, what happens if we're in a position where we're getting stomped and we don't know what the way out is? And unfortunately, there is no answer to a situation like this. You should not be in this situation in the first place.
Exactly. It's kind of like, what do we do when we're 40,000 gold behind? And like, well, if you're at 40,000 gold, oh, he jumps in. If you're at 40,000 gold behind, there's not much you can do. Is the problem. Oh, the Hex comes out. That's a Wind Waker.
There's a Wind Waker, yeah. So they have enough protection for this Puck. And even then, he has this A on this. So it's not as if the Wind Waker had to be used. They're just making sure that it doesn't go on cooldown.
Rocking it would have been nice. As Ame, really miserable game for him. One of the worst ever, to be honest. Well, still, you can see, Power Shot, Frog Stomp, and March of Machines is holding Team Resilience, I wouldn't say back, but instead of them charging head first to the towers, they are being a little careful, waiting for creeps and things like that. Actually, we could consider going for a fight. There's no Shadow Fiend here. It's very bold if Extreme does it, but it is an idea when you see the Shadow Fiend is pushing top lane, revealing himself on the map. This is a bit of disrespect from Team Resilience. They're saying, look, our Shadow Fiend's all the way over there, and we have people in other lanes. Do something if you want.
Extreme Gaming, okay, I agree with you, they have a strong high ground defense, clearly. Otherwise, this game would have already been over.
Thank God.
But how do they win that high ground defense? How do they make sure that the Resilience suffer enough that they go back instead of being able to take down a barracks?
All right, let me cook something up for you here, because that's the only one that's a question I have an answer to. Oh, Xnova is jumped.
Echo, he goes in with the Dream Call. The Lincolns from the path blocks away the Shackle Shot. Soul Rip Heal is there. So Extreme Gaming, they hold on. But again, you lose the tier 3 tower. And Erica isn't going to budge, right? He's just going to start right-clicking these barracks down. And the question is, for Extreme Gaming, can you muster up the courage to go in?
Oh, Erica almost dies, actually, in that situation. Quite low on the Shadow Fiend.
He does have a Satanic, so he'll be right back in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, but the banner might not be standing by the time he comes back. Oh. They haven't been able to actually hit the banner. What a great zoning from Team Resilience, I must say. For like that banner's still standing, and they all left the base. That is crazy.
Shadowfiend is going to be back. Eric up, he's dishing out the right clicks. Largo is falling very low on his HP. And the BKB is going to just be used here just to take out the barracks because they know that there's no way Extreme Gaming will chase outside of their base. Slowly but surely, they are getting choked in. Slowly but surely, they're now gasping for air right now, but they're not going to get much oxygen from Resilience. X-Nova falls. Echo Slam comes out onto Birds 2, and Extreme Gaming, they will come in for the buybacks. Resilience still trying to stand in their ground, but get hit by the Cursed Crown of all spells. Erica will end up losing his Aegis. Extreme Gaming, they've only used one buyback, and they've been able to defend. No BKB available for Erica. He is going to go down. Team Resilience may have just overextended.
May? Oh, they certainly did. They certainly did. I mean, when I saw Erica use the BKB top lane to take the barracks, I was like, okay, that's it. This push is over. They're going to go back. But they continue going for Team Resilience, feeling ultra confident. And they force a buyback from ZZQ. To be fair, XXS did use his as well. But, like, look at it. They got, like, nearly 3 times the EXP. Oh, that's not good.
Extreme Gaming may have just overextended, nothing to say. NTS was immediately buyback for that. They want to defend because they know the Shadow Fiend's down. Ame going in with the focus fire again, trying to take out that Timbersaw. Wind Waker adjustment will be there. Can XXS make his way out? He can't. It will still be the puck though. That is a very difficult hero to catch. Echo will go out. And may I just say it, Automo, I don't think he's had his A on this proc right now. Ever.
He is 10, 0, and 18. Proving to be the biggest problem. We were looking at the mid laners and saying, wow, oh, Largo, that's just going to be a day on this proc for him. We're looking at the mid laners this game and saying, my god, what a great performance we expect from the mid laner. But it was the other one that we got in the end. To be fair, NTS, considering the state of the game, has played phenomenally. Can he hix him? There he is.
And we had a lot of criticisms for the draft here from Resilience, but maybe this draft works.
I think we had a lot of criticism in game 1 for the draft, right? Game 2, you know, we saw the Lycan and we were, you know,
oh right, yeah,
blocking up a storm. We didn't say the draft. We praised Extreme. We said that their thinker is amazing. We never said anything about Team Resilience having a bad draft.
That's true. That's true. I forget.
All right. We gotta give ourselves some credit sometimes.
I give myself a lot of credit. It's fine, Optimo.
I bet you do.
I do.
I have a feeling you would. I'm like, this is not a man who's been accused of being humble.
I am humble. I am very humble. I'm just
the
not
most humble person
when...
in the world, right?
I am really humble, except at times where I feel like I deserve not to be humble.
Of course.
That makes sense.
I mean, you're a doctor. You know, you guys aren't exactly. Every time we talk to doctors, so what do you do? I save lives. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you know, when someone, you know, when thanks me for saving their kid's life, I say you're welcome. Like a humble person.
Oh, to be fair, at that point, you deserve the thank you. You deserve the thank you then for sure. And right now, Extreme Gaming kind of thankful that they're getting a chance to breathe here. You know, at 37 minutes, Team Resilience was 41,000 gold ahead. At 44 minutes, they're 41,000 gold ahead. That's not like the direction we're going towards. Pretty bad overall.
What are you trying to say, Optimo? You do realize the more net worth that increases for Resilience, it's harder to increase net worth from a certain point.
That's
right?
very true.
Like, how do you go from 30,000 to 35,000? Like, how do you sell? Like, there's only so many slots you have.
That's very fair. Which means that all this net worth is kind of useless because it's just sitting in the bank, not building items.
I don't even think Extreme Gaming are coping as hard as you are.
Our coach might. X-Nova's dead.
X-Nova is dead indeed. Ame throws out that shackle shot doesn't actually land on anyone, and I feel like this ultra maneuverability, New having the Wind Waker, Echo constantly being able to readjust his position, is just too much for Extreme Gaming. Like, they have this laser combo, but I did point out the fact that there's limited disables on their side, right? We saw a Cursed Crown come out last fight, and that was actually useful for them.
Surprisingly. Every time you say Cursed, that stun actually did something. That was very strange. With Buck, and I would love to know if you actually have a proxy on this, because I've never seen it. I've seen others get used, like Ghost, for example, but
was more instantly. Extreme Gaming have but he up in about 20 seconds. The only problem is resilience. They just have to get through one lane of barracks. They realize it. They're so close to the win here. They're so close to equalizing this series against Extreme Gaming. FY will immediately buy back after being taken out, but now they have come to your high ground. Your tier 3 tower is taking in damage, and you need to be able to go in. March of the Machines have taken out the creeps like you predicted, Automo, but there's still a puck on your high ground. There's still the rest of the resilience you have to deal with, and it doesn't seem like the March is doing much there.
No, certainly not. Maybe they can proc the Aeon disc. No, he heals up in time before it procs again on Echo. It's crazy that they can't even get the puck to 70% health.
Oh, nothing to say! Just gets blown up down for about 120 seconds. Surely Extreme Gaming are going to realize how hopeless this situation is. Being able to defend without your Tinker is just an impossible scenario to be in. Team Resilience will be able to find mega creeps, but right now they're just having their fun with it.
Yeah, I wonder if Tinker's buyback is going to be like timing out very soon. I don't think so. I mean, he just used it on the top lane fight, but they are just eating them. There you go. Nothing to say calls GG. A bit of a snoozer with Team Resilience. You know, they punch Extreme Gaming, then they kick them while they're down, and they kick them again.
Yeah, and I mean, Resilience, you can see the smiles on their faces. Clearly, extremely well-deserved. Extreme Gaming, quite frankly, did not expect that brutal of a beatdown. They had the nothing to say Tinker, but still, despite of all the Tinker performance.
Welcome aboard Air Astana. Our airplane flies into the realm of dreams. Relax as if at home, with satisfied reflection throughout your flight. You will rest and regain curiosity for new discoveries and encounters. After all, dreams are also part of the journey.
Connected, that is by SAST. Got a smartphone absolutely free. That is by SAST. Hooked it up and no longer problems with home internet.
Get home internet and a smartphone for free with the premium family plan.
Get ready for school with WB. WB, all you need for classes and breaks with try-on and payment on delivery.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the Phygital Games of the Future Astana 2026. A glorious aerial shot and fly over the modern city of Astana in our virtual world as you fly through the tunnel into the fantasy of where we are today, our desk in our broadcast facilities. I'm David Bloch.
And I am Shulpan, and we are excited to come back with another comeback for Dota. Second game, second match. I mean, David, I was saying it might be a trend, and I think it's becoming one, for sure.
This is quite something. We had Extreme really take the lead in map 1, showing their dominance, showing us why they are the current champions. And then early on in map 2, we had Team Resilience take control from relatively early on. They now have a 50,000 gold lead. That is a significant head start. Is it enough to take them to the winning spot today, or can Extreme make a comeback?
I don't know, because as you mentioned, Extreme Gaming did annihilate their opponent in the first map, but Team Resilience, living up to their name with those amazing tactics, have gotten that 50,000 gold leads, and now I feel like the Extreme Gaming champions are nail-biting over there at that venue.
You know, we're playing for a big money pool here. It's $1 million US. This is not for the faint-hearted. These are not just gamers, but athletes who train in excess of 8+ hours a day, clocking in 20, 30,000 plus hours overall. It is incredibly tight. The pressure is on. This is not a walk in the park, and we've seen it now with our second maps of the day, heading into a map 3. This is anyone's game. You have no idea who is going to take it.
David and I were just watching the game and discussing why could it be that one team dominates map 1, and it's sure given that they would dominate map 2, but then the other team comes back with the comeback. What could it be? And we were thinking perhaps it is the drafting.
Possibly, yes.
Because as you mentioned, David, the opponent's team can ban certain heroes. So from map 1, analyzing their opponent's play time and play game, they can then start banning the necessary heroes for the other team. Could have that been the case for Extreme Gaming this map? Perhaps.
Absolutely. Now, the inconsistency of esports, tech sports, digital sports, that's one thing. The consistency is in our sponsors, our partners, and of course you, our viewers. We want to acknowledge and thank all of our incredible support that we've been given by our sponsors of this year's Phygital Games of the Future Astana 2026 Phygital Shooter, which will be coming up in a couple of days, brought to you by Yandex Go.
And mentioning our dear distinguished viewers, please catch all of our streams on our OTT Phygital Plus platform.
Exactly, and you can see there, the bottom of our screen, some of our valued partners who have contributed so much to ensure the success of this year's games. So as we said, we're going to be heading into map 3 very, very shortly. Lots still to come. Got to give our viewers a heads up that we are playing for the finals of Phygital Basketball and a prize pool of $400,000 US.
And that will be taking place at 6 p.m. today. So make sure to tune in at 6 p.m. for the finals of Phygital Basketball, the second finals, and an award ceremony of our tournament. Yesterday, we had our first finalists in these games in PUBG with 17 Gaming lifting that trophy. I want to talk a little bit about the phraseology in these games because it is quite unique to the games. In PUBG, when a match is won, we usually say
winner, winner, chicken dinner.
However, in Dota, it is a long-lasting tradition that the losing team traditionally concedes their defeat to their opponent with a good game. So I'm excited to see which of the teams is going to concede GG to the other.
We'll have to see who says GG when it's time to GG. But for now, we're going to take a look at some of our ultimate heroes, not just those appearing in Dota 2, but those appearing online and in our audience. Check it out.
Welcome to the Phygital Games of the Future 2026 in Astana. Today, we step off the stage and into the crowd to see what brings thousands of spectators to the heart of Kazakhstan. Hi, what's your name and where are you from?
Hello everyone, my name is Astana, and today I have come here, and for now everything is very good. Like I am enjoying this event because it is such a great time, and like the organization is very cool.
What team are you voting for?
I didn't even know these teams, but I think that Playtime is a good team, so I think I will vote for them, yeah.
Do you want to play professionally one day?
Maybe yes. It is a very interesting opportunity for me that I would like to try it out.
Hello, mate. Is this your first time at the Games of the Future?
Yeah, actually it is. I'm here for voting for my favorite team, Diga Esports.
How do you like the atmosphere here today?
Very atmospheric, and I love to be in here. There's a lot of people that I met before, and I very love this vibe here.
What makes the Games of the Future special for you?
Playing digital games, it's important to me because since my childhood, this digital games was a part of me. I played it with my friends, brothers, and other family members, and I appreciate this time with spending them.
Is this your first time at the Games of the Future?
Yeah, I came today for the first time for cheering for Team Vitality.
How do you like the atmosphere here today?
Yeah, really good, really nice. The atmosphere is so good. The host is really good. Yeah.
Do you think esports can become as popular as traditional sports?
Yeah, I think that today esports it's become more popular because I think that traditional sport it's not so interesting for young people because I think I'm 30 years old, and when I was young I don't have a cyber sport, but when I'm growing I really like cyber sport and more than classic play, that classic football or basketball games.
From lifelong childhood memories to a rapidly expanding global community, the fans of Astana 2026 are proving that the future of sport belongs to everyone. Do not forget to cheer for your favorite team.
The future of sport does indeed belong to everyone, even if you don't have a clue who the teams are, as one of our super fans said. It's for everyone, and that's what makes this such fun, all-inclusive for everyone to enjoy. So whether you're online or you're in and around Astana,
please make sure to not miss out on all of the action. The basketball finals are going to be taking place at the Kazakhstan Athletic Sport Complex, and the Dota ongoing elimination stage, and soon the finals will also be taking place at the Zhaksaluk Ushkimbirov Martial Arts Palace. So make sure to visit these venues. Also, for any big die-hard fans out there, the players will be standing by after the games to hand out autographs and take pictures with the fans.
make sure you get your autograph, make sure you get your photos, make sure you get to meet your favorite superstars of the game. For now, as with one of our super fans, if you don't really know who's who in the zoo, check out this video where we introduce you to the members of Extreme Gaming.
A team that doesn't need an introduction. Since their debut in 2021, the organization has established itself as an unrivaled force, competing in around 508 matches and securing around 257 victories. They have participated in 78 tournaments and have collected 10 gold, 4 silver, and 7 bronze finishes. Let's welcome Extreme Gaming. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello everyone, I'm AME from Extreme Gaming.
I'm XXS from Extreme Gaming.
First question, have you ever been to Kazakhstan before?
I don't remember, might not.
No, it is my first time.
We hope you enjoy your stay. So, guys, why did you decide to participate in this event?
It's a very important training before upcoming EWC.
Oh, wow. Good luck on EWC. Do you like to analyze what your opponents do?
Definitely enjoy watching the games of other teams, but at the same time, we also want to focus on being our best selves.
You guys are so successful. You constantly get direct invitations to the events. Share your secret. What makes you so different from the other teams?
There are no big differences.
So humble. Could you tell us, do you plan to participate in the games of the future after 2026?
Of course, we're really enjoying everything right now.
We are glad to hear these words. If you wanted to change something about Dota 2, what would it be?
Let's add another lane. I feel like adding one more lane would make it more interesting.
Final question. What do you want to say to your fans that came to support you on the games of the future?
Thanks for all the support. We'll keep working hard.
Thank you, guys. We wish you good luck.
Don't know about you, Shulpan, that these guys look so scary, so aggressive.
Well, never judge a book by its cover, David, because these guys are some of the most aggressive and talented players in the esports arena.
Well, they are going to need to be, because they have a 50,000 goal deficit against Team Resilient. Can they do this? Can they retain their title? It's anyone's guess. We're playing for $1 million. So it's all in. No holds barred. We go in. Let's see how the map concludes. It's going to be Rust, or it's going to select. Since we're going to be a lot in time, I'm going to say, Shulpan, we're going to miss the basketball. Joining me, Sarah will be joining me for the rest of the evening. Shulpan will be joining me.
Games of the future.
You, Echoes, Erica, maybe not quite on the same caliber. And then they come down, they take down Ame. And to